All right, it's the end of the day and I have a great case for you. I had a patient this morning whose A1C was 6.1. He went to the doctor, got the blood test, turns out he's pre-diabetic. Now the A1C is supposed to be below 5.7. His was 6.1, so his doctor prescribed medication. And I asked him, did the doctor spend time with you and explain to you what you're supposed to eat to try to change this? What do you think the answer was? No. So I said, are you interested in an alternative way to get this diabetes under control? He said yes. So I spent about 20 minutes with him. I'm gonna tell you exactly what I told him, and you don't have to pay for it. He paid a copay. You don't have to. So I thought this was an interesting case because this is someone who doesn't know anything about diabetes. He was given medication, he's told to take it. He just follows doctor's orders. And so let's just get into it. I'm not gonna dwell on this. The first thing I did was I scared the crap out of him. And this is my technique in dealing with patients, and this is a true story. I have a guy in my neighborhood who drives around the neighborhood in a cart. You know, in those old people carts where you can't walk? And the reason why he's in a cart is because below one knee, his leg doesn't exist. And he's a super nice guy, and he talks to everybody in the neighborhood. And one day I was outside, and I've talked to him many times before, and he's talking to me, and we're chatting about current events or something like that. And I finally got the courage to actually, ask, where's your leg? Were you in Vietnam? Korea? Were you at war? Thank you for your service. And he says, nah, I lost my leg because of diabetes. And I was like, oh my God. Honey, throw away the Snickers, right? Unfortunately, because he doesn't have a good management of his diabetes, last year, he wasn't around for a while. Everybody in the neighborhood got nervous. And then I saw him riding his cart. Both legs were amputated below the knee. He lost both legs to diabetes. It wasn't a war. He's not a war hero. He wasn't in the Marines or anything like that. He lost his legs to diabetes. Go to a kidney dialysis center and look around. Just get a whiff of what it smells like in there. Do you want to spend 3 days a week for the rest of your life having a machine clean your kidneys? Or how about your eyesight? A lot of people go blind because of diabetes. So this is the kind of the conversation I start with. Not the most friendly doctor, right? But it gets the point because many people don't know what are the consequences of diabetes. If I don't control my blood sugar, what happens? Most patients are like, I don't know. Well, this is what happens. You could lose your legs. You could lose your kidneys. You can be on dialysis. You can go blind. You could die. You can have a heart attack, stroke. There's many things. So we get that picture. I quickly explain what diabetes is and the consequences through a story. That's what I did. Then I said, here's what you're going to do. Now, this is our first meeting discussing diabetes with him. And I don't blow people out of the water, giving them everything all at once. I just want to get them started. I want to give them a little bit of hope and a little bit of a piece of information that they can use. They can get started on their journey towards solving their own diabetes. And that's how I view it. It's a journey to get better. It's not like I'm going to talk to them one time on one visit and cure everything. It doesn't work that way. So I explained to him that when you eat anything that's a carbohydrate, whether it's a vegetable or a piece of fruit or a candy bar or sugar in your coffee, you get my drift? You should always have food that has fiber in it because fiber will absorb or slow down the absorption of blood sugar. I'm sorry, I screwed that up. Fiber will decrease the absorption of sugar. It'll slow down the absorption of sugar into our bloodstream. That's what I was trying to say. And when this happens, you don't necessarily have to stop eating the foods you like. You just have to make sure you're getting enough fiber with that food. So we're not trying to get them to, just only eat a steak every day, because nobody is going to just go home and throw away all their food and just eat steaks all day. That's not realistic. But you tell them, look, if you're going to eat rice or you're going to eat some sugar, make sure you have food with it that has fiber. The second thing is always make sure whenever you have a carbohydrate that you always have protein with it as well as fat. And the reason why is because, same reason, it will slow down the absorption of sugar into your bloodstream. And so now if a guy wants a little rice or a potato, he can have it. He just has to have, let's say, a steak or chicken or fish or pork with it. That usually comes with fat. And maybe a vegetable, another vegetable that's high fiber. So I told him, I want you to Google high fiber foods and make a list. And you don't have to eat all of them, and you don't have to eat the highest one. Just pick some foods that have high fiber and start going to the supermarket and buying them. And start trying to combine foods so that it's more balanced. One of the benefits of eating protein, fat, and carbohydrate at the same meal, rather than just having a high carbohydrate meal, is your body, your pancreas, won't secrete as much insulin and will secrete something called glucagon, which helps lower your blood sugar. So that's what I told him to do. Then I told him you have a choice. You could either do two things, because this guy does not exercise at all. I told him this: when you eat, right after you eat, I want you to do 200 calf raises. Or if you can't do that, just sit and actually raise your heels up. Get up on your toes. Because there's a muscle called a soleus, and this soleus muscle is very hungry for sugar. It's a very highly metabolically active muscle. And there's research to show that what's called a soleus push-up, where you activate the soleus and it lowers blood sugar. So I told him after every meal, you're gonna do these exercises. Now I have videos about this, and maybe at the end of this video, I'll put it right here on the right side. So if you wanna look at that exercise. But I told him another option, because we're in Southern California and it's beautiful here. I mean, let me show you the pictures. These are all pictures of where I live, okay? That's Ventura. This is Ventura. That's the pier, by the way. And here's a black and white of the pier that we like. I have some other videos you want to see. These are really cool. I'm sidetracking, but I'm telling you this for a reason. This is Ojai. I love this picture. I ride my bike past there all the time. And then the last one, let me show you this one here. Okay, I ride my bike here all the time as well. Almost every Sunday, I ride right past here. This statue is gone though. People got offended. They were offended, and so they demanded that the city get rid of the statue. Oh, Lord. Anyway, so what I did is I told them, after every meal, I want you to get out of your house and go that way for 2.5 minutes, and then just come back. 5-minute walk. You don't have to sweat. You don't have to, break a sweat. You don't think of it as working out. Just think of it as walking. And the reason why is because when you walk right after eating, you're basically doing a soleus push-up. But you're using your muscles to demand of your muscles that they want to use energy in the form of glucose, which is the blood sugar. So by walking for 5 minutes after each meal, you can reduce blood sugar much better. So these are the things I told the guy. And I just told you, how long did it take? 9 minutes? See, this is the problem with healthcare, is we don't have healthcare, we have disease management. When someone gets diabetes, it's almost a crime that the doctor doesn't sit down and just spend 9 minutes with them and say, this is what you have, this is what it means, these are the consequences if you don't take care of this diabetes. And because his A1C was, pre-diabetic, I'm gonna give you these medications to get started, but I want you to change your ways. I want you to change how you eat. I want you to change how you exercise. And let's get you healthy. Let's get you healthy so that you don't have to be on these medications forever. That's what a doctor should do. It doesn't matter whether it's a chiropractor, acupuncturist, a medical doctor, an osteopath, a dentist. It doesn't matter. That is what should have occurred, and it pisses me off. But I'm going to defend the doctors. I understand why they don't do it. I think they don't do it because they don't have the time. They're inundated with all these patients. The insurance companies are not paying them well enough. I know people think doctors are rich, but doctors are rich because they see 40 people a day. And I think that they're pressed for time. Now, if it's because they don't know what nutritionally should be done or how exercise, well then shame on them. But I think they do. There aren't doctors that are that stupid. It just doesn't exist. They're just pressed for time. They've got to earn an income, just like you have to earn an income. When you go to work, you try to be time efficient. But it's just, it isn't working. We need to have a healthcare system that doesn't produce healthy people. We have a bad system, and this is why I want to make these videos for you. So maybe these will motivate you or educate you in places where other doctors just simply don't have the time to help you. So watch this video right here. It's the soleus exercise. I hope this has been beneficial. I'm done for the day, and I'm going home. See ya.